Hello everyone, welcome to Chirag SQL Server DBA tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn SQL Server Remediate Vulnerabilities. SQL Server Vulnerability Assessment is the easy to configure service that can discover, track and help you the remediate potential database vulnerabilities. Use it to improve your database security. What is the SQL Server Vulnerability Assessment? SQL Server Vulnerability Assessment is the service that provides visibility into your security state. Vulnerability assessment includes actionable steps to resolve security issue and enhance your database security. It can help you to monitor a dynamic database environment where changes are difficult to track and improve your SQL security procedure. Result of the scan include actionable steps to resolve each issue and provide customized remediation script where applicable. You can customize an assessment report for your environment by setting an acceptable baseline for. There is a permission configuration, features configuration and database settings. In this video, mainly we are going to learn remediate vulnerabilities. In previous video, we learned how to assessment the vulnerabilities. When a vulnerability scan completes, the reports is displayed in the Azure portal or your SSMS. The reports present an overview of your security state, the number of issues that were found, and a summary of severity of the risk, a list of findings for the further investigations. To remediate the vulnerability discovered, review a result, determine which of the result findings are security issue for your environment. Select each failed result or understand its impact on why the security check is failed. Third is, as your review your assessment result, you can mark a specific result as being acceptable baseline in your environment. Some of the errors, some of the results are we can change it to baseline because that is not need to work with that. Sometime a baseline is essentially a customization of how the result are reported. In subsequent scan, results that match the baseline are considered a passes. After you all establish your baseline security state, vulnerability assessment only reports on the deviations from the baseline. In this way, you can focus your attention on the relevant issue. We'll go through our practical, then we'll see how to put into baseline. Fourth, if you change the baseline, you can scan button to run an on-demand scan and view the customized report. Any findings you have added to the baseline will now appear in past with indication that they have passed because of baseline changes. Next is TD. We must create a master key. In the create a master key of the database, so we can precautionary measure. I like to begin this statement with the use master command. So okay, we'll go through the practical, then we'll back into this. First, just connect to your SQL server. I'm connecting my local host. There your server name is localhost authentication. I'm using SQL Server authentication, login SA and password. So I connected with my local SQL Server database instance. There is a list of the databases. I'm going to check with the Chirag thing. So go to the task, right click on the Chirag, go to the task, go to the vulnerability assessment. There is an option to scan for vulnerability and open existing scan. If you have already report on JSON format or report is there previously scan, you can open that. So now I'm going to scan for vulnerabilities. There is a path, there report will be saved. Click on OK. So we got 5 failed errors, assessment result 5 failed and 29 is passed. So you will get all the information regarding vulnerability assessment result here. So we will go one by one and resolve the issue. So our data will vulnerability will be removed, or we will remediate the take the action regarding the vulnerability. First, we'll go one by one. First is BA2108. Minimal set of principals should be members of fixed high impact database role. There is authentication and authorization. Means if you click here, you'll get all the details in below. If you approve as a baseline, so it will go in hide from the next report, and it will be set as a baseline. You can clear the baseline also. There is a risk is high, and status failed, no baseline set. Description is written there. SQL Server provide role that help manage the permissions. There is a multiple permissions, maybe impact fixed database role, maybe administrative permission or the system. Next, go to there is a query. So query we can open in the new window and we can run. So it will give you the how many owners will be there. These are the owners created for particular database. Now next, actual result. These are the result role DB owner. So multiple owners are there. Next, remediation. So remove members who should not have access to the database role. If there is a multiple database access, DB owner will be there, and if you are not using all the users to access, so you can remove from that. There is a remediation script is also there. So SQL Server help us to remediate script for some time. So it will help to remove all the. So I'm going to execute that. So successfully completed. Next, first is completed. Go to the second. Changes to sign module should be authorized. This is also from the authentication and authorization. Risk is high. Baseline is not set. If you approve the baseline, no need to change anything. It will be skipped from the same next result. So go through the status, fail, and impact. There is a query. If you open the query, if you execute, so it will show you the many things. So actual result is this. So there is a baseline not set and module. Remediation baseline or remove from the module. In this case, we cannot remove the application update and other tables from this module. So we can use here approve as a baseline. So next time in result it will speak because it skip because this is already approved from the baseline. So I'm just clicking the baseline. So it will give you are now setting the current result as your approved baseline for the this security. Check on the database. It will no longer appear on the failure in your vulnerability assessment after you next scan. Do you want to continue? Yes. So this is set as a approved as a baseline. Next, two are completed. Next is auditing and logging. This is a risk is medium. Let me go through description. User defined roles are security principles defined by the user group principal to easy manage principle. Monitoring these roles are important to avoid being excessive permission. Create a baseline. So let me open, let me check. There is some members are there, they have a access. So what I'll do, I can run the query and I can remove their alter their roles, drop their member roles. So that will be good idea sometime. Just go through your requirement and check this. So this one also completed. Next is transparent data encryption. This is TD. So this is TD, transparent data encryption. For removing that, it must create the master key. It must be created in master database. So as on precautionary measures, I will like begin with the statement with the use master. So we can create one master key. Let me create the master key. Master key is already available. I created, then it will give a error. That's not an issue. Going through that, use master, execute. Okay, master key already exists. Okay. That not an issue. With this command, you can easily create the master key. So it will be created. After create the master key, once master key is created, along with that strong password that should be have saved the secure location, that way, and you will head and create the actual certificate. Now I'm going to create the certificate. So command is successfully completed. So certificate is created. Certificate name is TD Chirag CRT. Let me check that certificate is created or not. Go to the master database, go to the security, TD Chirag CRT. So I created the certificate. Warning, just remember that the certificate used for the encryption of the database encryption key has not been backed up. You should immediate back up the certificate and the private key associated with the certificate. If the certificate ever become unavailable, or if you must restore the attach the database on another server, you must have backup of the both the certificate and the private key, or you will not be able to open the database. So this is very important. Whenever you are creating the database encryption, you create the certificate, then keep the backup of your certificate and private key. In later on videos, I'll create video regarding TDE. On that video, I'll just show you how to create, how to backup, and uh, how to restore the certificate and private key. The certificate name is TD Chirag Sitar. I gave a generic object. Some database administrator like to put the name of the actual database that you're going to encrypt in there. It totally up to you. Create database encryption key. So now we must utilize our use command to switch to the database that we wish to encrypt. Okay, so use the database, and I'm going to encrypt the create database encryption key on for particular database. So go there and select the database. If you want, then you can use here, or already has there is selected, so no need to do that. So I'm going with this. Create database encryption key TDH Chirag CRT. Run. The warning, database encryption key has not backup. This is the warning. So always backup your certificate and private key. Next, enable is encryption. This is the last one. Alter database. I'm going to enable the so command successfully completed. So this part also completed. Now go to the next. TD is completed. Last is fifth one is orphaned user should be removed from the SQL Server database. So there is some user, orphaned user, so we don't want, just like a asset user, so we don't want. Then I'm going to drop that. So successfully drop. Then all the vulnerability assessment result, whatever the fail, I just work with all 5. Let me check with the again assessment. Go to the right click on database, go to the task, vulnerability assessment, and scan for vulnerabilities. Click on OK. So one is there. So let me check orphan database. Okay, one more, some more is there. Let me drop both. So both are drop. Let me run again. So now 0, 34 is passed. And go to the previous result. There is a 29 is passed and 5 is 29 plus 5, 34. All 34 are passed now. If you go there and you can check. No baseline set, no put custom baseline. It will show you the your additional information also passed. Click here, then you can able to see all the things. Baseline set, all removed. So in this way, we can test the vulnerability assessment. In conclusion, security testing is a critical activity that should be performed on the regular basis to verify that all the best practices are implemented as part of our security policy. Vulnerability assessment in the SQL Server is an excellent tool for scanning database and identifying problems, as well as recommending fixes in the scan report. These scans are applicable to any database, including all system database. The scan report will include all complete information as well as remediation recommendation that you can study and subsequently implemented on your system to address any open security issue. Already we have seen the remediations recommendation and we did that. So in this way we can do that. In summary, in this video we learned how to remediate vulnerabilities, and we did with the baseline, TDE, and removing the orphaned user and unwanted user and unwanted owners. So this is the way we can do the remediate vulnerabilities. Hope this will help. Thank you for watching.